All right, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, Matt. And we're going to start lying down on our backs. But before you lie down, go ahead and collect your props. You can something for the inner thighs. Weights, if you like to use them. You can have something nice and soft for under your head. And you'll be lying on your back. Go ahead and lie down. I'll lie down with you this morning. And have your feet a comfortable distance away from your hips. We will start in this bent knees position. And we won't have any props at first, but we'll have the hands resting on the lower belly. As we often do, we're going to breathe and really just focus on getting the fullness of the breath through the length of our spine. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale following the exhale when it's time for the next breath. And of course, exhale following the inhale. Feel the continuity of that process, the naturalness of it, which is something I've sort of been focusing on this week. The easy flow in and out of the breath that continues whether or not you're aware of it, fortunately. And how we can use this very natural process to mindfully engage core muscles, because breath muscles are core muscles. One more breath in and out without trying to control or do anything with that breath. And then inhale through the nose until the lungs are pleasantly full, the chest is open, feel a little outward movement through the belly. And in the pause before exhaling, lightly contract pelvic floor. And then release the breath through the mouth as you maintain that pelvic floor engagement. When it's time, inhale through the nose. Aware of your Kegel, exhale through the mouth, keeping the muscles at the base of the pelvis active. And so we're purposely engaging pelvic floor muscles as step one in our core foundation. It is that basement level of core, the bottom of the container that defines our center. Do a couple more rounds of breath in and out, just focusing on the Kegel. Not gripping the Kegel, not letting the Kegel introduce tension into the shoulders of the neck to help. One more exhale. And then inhale downward. And from that obvious connection through pelvic floor, now feel that the exhale knits up internally or zips up internally from the bottom of the pelvis to the interior of the bottom ribs, and think three-dimensionally here. Still inhaling in a downward direction, comfortable and open through chest and shoulders. Kegel and exhale, and feel the lifting quality of the breath as the exhale moves upward through the crown. Inhale downward. From the foundation of your Kegel, exhale upward, and feel a knitting together of the transversus. Do that one more time. As you hold your Kegel, as you feel that firming of the transversus, get a growing awareness deep in the lower part of the belly. Stay aware of that area. And on your inhale now, take the breath into the bottom of the side ribs. Feel them or allow them to gently flare outward. And then as you exhale and do all the other things, the side ribs will gently come in, not pressing or tensing overly much, just drawing in. Inhale, sides of the bottom ribs opening as the breath fills the lungs as the diaphragm works. And then diaphragm relaxes as pelvic floor and transversus support and work. Do 3 more rounds of breath, feeling these various groups of muscles composing both the engine of the breath and the muscles that define your center, the area that defines your center. Now we've got that foundation, we built it, we're going to keep it rolling along with the other things we do. Prepare for imprint here. And on your exhale breath, make your imprint, drawing the low spine down to the mat by contracting the low belly's muscles inward and upward. Release your imprint as you inhale. And return to your imprint as you exhale. And keep that going, please. So you're going to remain lying down, of course, as you articulate through the lower spine. Relax the hips so that as the low spine moves, the pelvis moves along with it without any resistance or stickiness. And please do 2 more imprints and releases. One more exhale, one more inhale. When you've completed that return to neutral, pause in place and extend the arms forward to the ceiling. Have your palms facing each other and the fingertips reaching inward. We're just going to move the shoulders together and back a couple of times. We'll start with an exhale breath, and on that exhale breath, as you engage your core muscles, reach the fingertips a little closer to the ceiling by stretching apart between the shoulder blades. And on your inhale, draw the shoulder blades back, opening the chest in front. Exhale, reach the fingertips forward, and that is a reversal of our normal breath for this action, but just bear with me. And inhale, open the chest and draw the shoulder blades back. Do that a couple more times, exhaling to reach forward and separate the shoulder blades. And inhaling to draw the shoulder blades together and spread the chest. One more time, of course. And when you've completed the last one, settle the shoulder blades in an intermediate position and reach the arms back just once. Exhaling to reach back, feeling a space between the shoulder blades, both at the base of the neck and down to about the midpoint. Slip your hands under the back of your head. We're not going to actually bend forward first, but we are going to practice the head nods. All right, letting the weight of your head rest back into your hands and maybe guiding or supporting a little bit with your palms. Prepare with an exhale breath. Get your Kegel in your core. Keep a neutral spine everywhere below the shoulders. And on the inhale breath, as you allow the chest to open, drop the chin down, nodding. On your exhale breath, release the head nod, keeping space between the top of the shoulder blades. Inhale, nod the chin down. Feel a sort of anchoring through the bottom points of the shoulder blades without gripping the neck. And then exhale, release the head nod, returning to an entirely neutral spine without pinching the shoulder blades together. 2 more times, nodding on the inhale, maybe guiding the head, feeling security in the bottom of the shoulder blades and ribs, and then exhale, releasing the nod, no tension in the spine between the shoulder blades, and 1 more time on your own tempo. Now reach the arms all the way down by your sides after completing this one. and find your block. Maybe put it between the knees or the feet. We are going to do hip rolls. So more traditionally, the block goes between the knees, if anywhere. And then get an awareness through the bottoms of the feet. Lift and spread the toes, stretching them out, and feel the balls of the feet really relating to the ground in a balanced way. Lower the toes and then center the heels, and feel that centeredness going up through the line of the legs. Inhale here, preparing to move the spine. As you exhale, connect both to your core and to your lower belly muscles as you begin with your imprint, stretching the tail long. Pause at the imprint. Inhale here, and then exhale. Continue to peel the spine up, a vertebra at a time, as you now press down through the feet. Come all the way to the top, exhaling on your way up without pinching the spine at the base of the neck. And then inhale, open the chest, and exhale, roll back down. Feel an easy release of the upper back into ground. Of course, continuing all the way down until the length of your torso rests on the floor, returning to neutral through the pelvis. Inhale, we repeat, feel the feet firmly grounded and balanced. Kegel, squeeze the block, and exhale, roll up. You don't have to pause at imprint unless you like to at this point. Continue that smooth articulation sequentially upward until you're resting on the top of the shoulders. Inhale here, feel that openness and release across the fronts of the shoulders, and then exhale, roll down, nice and smooth. Dropping the spine easily back, and of course the ribs as well, until you're again on the ground in neutral. Please do one more repetition of this. Kegel and exhale, roll it up. At the top, feel the groundedness through the feet and the openness through the neck and shoulders. And then exhale, roll down, pulling your hamstrings toward your calves and focusing more intensely on the muscles in your deep center, low in the belly, deep in the pelvis. Stay on the ground, keep your block unless it's really bothering you, and grab your weights if you like to use them for arm reaches. We'll use a 2-breath pattern for arm reaches, and we're going to keep the elbows straight this morning as we do our initial shoulder work. Have an exhale here and feel like you've got space in the spine between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, feel that you have space and openness in the chest. Exhale one more time, and as you connect to your core, feel the sides of the ribs come in and integrate with the waist and the pelvis. Keep that, and on your inhale breath, finally reach the arms back slowly. The chest is open, but the ribs and the shoulder blades are secure. Before you return the arms, Kegel, exhale, squeeze your block, and start to slowly bring the arms forward as you intensify your core without gripping the upper spine behind the neck. Less words, more movement. Inhale, reach the arms back. Kegel, exhale, and return the arms forward. Continue through 3 more repetitions on your own tempo. Make sure that every exhale builds from core into the external muscles. It's an inside out kind of connection. As you finish your last repetition, bring your arms all the way down by your sides and release your weights. So rest your arms along your sides and move your shoulders around a little bit forward and back until they're resting comfortably in that neutral position. And here is where we bend the elbows. So we keep the elbows on the floor, and this is an isometric activation. Inhale, lift the hands up, bending the elbows 90 degrees. Feel the shoulders dropping back, release the jaw, Kegel, squeeze your block, and exhale, press your hands down into the mat. And as you press the floor, you'll feel your triceps beginning to build tone. Do that just once more. Once is enough. We bend the elbows 90 degrees on the inhale. And then Kegel and exhale, straighten the arms. And as you straighten the arms, engage through the triceps and feel muscles inside the back of the armpit. Keep that and lift the hands up just an inch or two above the surface of the floor. On your inhale breath, shrug the shoulders upward. And on your exhale breath, unshrug the shoulders without gripping the spine between the shoulder blades. Stay spacious across the top of the chest and inhale, shrug the shoulders upward. Exhale, unshrug the shoulders. And do one more repetition. Lifting the shoulders without lifting or destabilizing the ribs, and then unshrugging the shoulders without immobilizing the spine. You can either keep the arms here or put the hands behind the head as we move into ab prep. The lower spine stays neutral, so think lumbar curve present. And on your inhale breath, nod the chin to the chest, whichever arm position you're using. On the exhale breath, begin to bend forward, pulling from the lower belly into the lower ribs to lift the weight of your chest and your shoulders. Inhale at the top, keeping the nod of the head, and then exhale, roll back down without stiffening the area at the base of the neck or closing the area over the center of your chest. Continuing, inhale, nod the head, and exhale, bend forward. Feel the sliding of the shoulder blades as you bend. Feel the shoulders going with the position of the ribs. Inhale, and exhale, lower back down. Please do 4 more. And if you decide you need to change your arm position or experiment with a different placement, of course, that's what you do. Wherever you're working with the arms, make sure that the focus of your bending and your support is deep in the pelvis, below the navel, and inside, underneath the surface. Your Kegel will help with that. Your inner thighs will help with that. Last couple, please. When you've lowered from your last one, bring your arms down by your sides and put the block off to the side if you have it between your knees. And if it's comfortable for you, you can let the knees sway to the left and then sway to the right. If that doesn't feel good for your hips or your low back, you can extend your legs and just sway your feet left and right. That can be a little bit more comfortable depending on the situation in your pelvis or spine. We will come next onto hands and knees rather, and do a cat stretch. So whatever you need to do for your wrists, whether it's putting weight into your fists instead of your palms or just padding your hands, you do that. You can certainly pad your knees as well. When you're in hands and knees, you're in your neutral. We're going to do a little rib thing, sort of analogous to what we did with our shoulder blades front and back. So once you're in hands and knees, on your inhale, spread across the chest and allow the ribs to move forward, which means, relatively speaking, the shoulder blades will move back. Then on the exhale, move the ribs back and press the shoulders forward. Do that again. Inhaling, ribs forward, shoulders back. Exhaling, ribs back, shoulders forward. And then come into the middle spot. Consider that wherever your ribs point or go at the top, since your shoulders form a little cap over the top of the ribs, they'll go in the same direction, right? So take a breath here. And on your exhale, start with your tailbone and flex the spine into a curve, an angry cat curve. Tailbone tipping down, middle back lifting, ribs flexible and bending. As the ribs bend, allow the head to drop, feeling that even though your arms haven't really changed their position on the floor, Right, your shoulders have changed their position relative to your arms. Inhale and exhale, return through neutral. And now inhale, take it into extension. Where the top of the ribs point, the shoulders go. Release. And do 2 more of those. Now I know I'm talking a lot this morning. This is an effort to really give you the ability to feel the articulation of the shoulders and to maybe release tension from the neck and gain better connection from arms into core. When you've repeated that last time, we're going to lower to our bellies and do a hip extension. And I'm watching the screen, so I'll wait for you. And when you're prone on the mat, I'll see that. Rest your head on your hands, or if that's not comfortable, just find some other resting position for the upper body. And get those legs stretched out long beneath you. Point the toes and stretch behind the knees as you bring the inner thighs together, or as close as they come, depending on your state of your hips. And feel that the long pull of your legs puts length into the bottom of the waist and the outside of the hips. Keep that long situation through the legs and the stability of your neutral spine. And on your exhale breath, begin to reach further into the length of your legs as you lift them from the back of the hips and the thighs. No bending of the knees, just simply a stretch. You hold here and inhale, and then exhale to lower. 2 more repetitions of the hip extension, preparing with a breath in. Build your exhale from your Kegel, your inner thigh connection, reaching into your length as you extend and finally lift from the back of the hips and the thighs. Inhale and exhale to lower. You've got the pattern, so as you go into your last lift, you know what the motion is. Can you feel that the weight of your legs are supported by your core rather than your neck, rather than your shoulder blades? Lower when it's time, exhaling to reach into ground. And then please bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to move into dart or breaststroke prep number 2. That's the one with the arms back. We'll have the arms and the shoulders resting forward. Continue to stretch through the legs. And on the inhale breath, open the chest to bring the arms into alignment by your sides. Now on the exhale breath, unshrug the shoulders without tensing the spine. Allow the spine to reach through as the chest lifts up in response to the pull of the bottom of the shoulder blades down. Inhale and exhale to lower. Release the shoulders forward. Inhale, open the chest, pick up the arms and stretch through your elbows and pinky fingers. Now as you exhale, unshrug. Feel the unshrugging action translating into a lift of the chest, stretching the top of the crown forward, and then exhale to lower. Please do 2 more of these, placing the shoulders from your core, permitting and feeling a stretch through the spine, even as you extend. Anchor through the Kegel at the base of the pelvis and through the stretch of your legs below, and do 1 more repetition. When you've lowered from this one, please sit back into shell stretch. Take a moment or 2 here and just breathe. And as the breathing relaxes, then if it feels right to move your head around a little bit or move your shoulders around a little bit, go ahead and do that. Have one more round of breath in and out. And then on an exhale, lift your spine up, a vertebra at a time, finding vertical and neutral. We'll turn over and lie down on the back and get ready for some tabletop work. Begin lying down with your knees bent in your kind of standard home base position. And have a breath in and out a couple of times, both relaxing into ground and feeling your body weight release, and engaging or re-engaging consciously with your core muscles. Then when you're ready to make imprint, prepare with an inhale, taking the breath down through the bottom of the side ribs, diaphragm working. And as you exhale, engage pelvic floor, feel that zipping up internally, and make your imprint, low belly muscles pulling back and in. Low spine drawing down as the tail lengthens. Stay here, have another exhale, and feel the concentration of your effort deep within that bowl of the pelvis. And then on your next exhale, lift one leg to tabletop, articulating through the foot as the toes lift from the ground. Same thing for the second side. When your feet are up, go ahead and flex and point them just once so that as you point them, you get sort of a renewed engagement of the calves and the arches. Squeeze the inner thighs together, and without weights, I'd like you to extend the arms forward to the ceiling. This time, have the palms facing the knees or the thighs. Prepare with an exhale that engages those inner thighs along with deep low belly muscles. And again, on your inhale, reach the arms back. As you exhale, you're going to bring the arms forward to vertical. And by now, as you repeat this 3 more times, you know the drill. Can you engage your core and move the arms forward without stiffening your spine? Pretty critical for comfort when we do the 100 or any flexion. One more, please. Now, from the vertical position, inhale, feel the chest open, and exhale, begin to reach the arms down by your sides as you nod and bend forward from the mat. An easy articulation of the spine, bending deeply at the waist, pulling from the low abs. Decide if you want to keep the upper body flexed. If you need to lower your head, that's fine. Inhale, lift the arms a ½ inch, and then exhale, use your triceps and the back of your armpit area to press down, and finally begin. 5 inhales as you pulse. 5 exhales when it's time. Lots of variations with this. So not only do you have a choice of head position, but you can choose to straighten or bend your legs as well. And nothing says you can't go between those positions as you try out the different versions. Good, you guys. Strong in the exhale without closing the upper body. Long in the arms without gripping the shoulders. Strong connection in legs and low belly supporting. When you finish your last set, inhale smoothly, bend your legs if they're extended, and exhale lower. Exhale to lower one foot to the ground. Please keep your imprint. And then second foot. When both feet are down, release imprint. And go ahead and stretch your legs long. Take that slowly. When you've stretched your legs long, take your feet in circles, both moving either clockwise or counterclockwise. Make sure that you're moving through the toes as well as the ankles. Finish the circle you're on and then go the other direction. Both feet moving synchronously. And then when you finish the last circle in the second direction, keep one leg stretched on the mat and bend the other leg so that the foot is flat to the ground. So we're going to do our hip release here. Sometimes it feels nice to let that go after we've done a set of 100. So you'll have one leg down, kind of gluing the mat down, a neutral spine, and the other knee bent. Prepare here with an exhale. We're going to start in the inward direction today. So as you inhale, drop the bent knee across your midline toward the other leg and slide the foot down. As you exhale, turn outward and then pull the heel up with your hamstrings as you release the hip. Bring the sole of the foot flat to the ground and continue twice more. Inhale across and down. Exhale, roll the thigh laterally and pull the heel up. One more in this direction. And when you finish the last one, continue with the same leg. And we reverse the direction, inhaling to drop the knee out to the side and then stretch the leg. Exhale to roll it inward and pull the heel up right underneath the line of the hip. Just 3 of these guys. When you bend your knee to pull the foot up, use the back of the thigh rather than your hip flexor. When you finish the third one on that side, go ahead and stretch the bent knee long. Have a breath in and out, and as you do that, inhale, pull your toes up, and exhale, point your toes away. Relax the feet and bend the other knee so the new leg is up now. Prepare with an exhale here, securing your core and your neutral posture. Inhale, bent knee drops across toward the other leg and the heel slides down. Exhale, the leg turns outward and you pull the heel up right underneath you. 3 total, please. Now, like before, you can start the external direction after finishing that third one. Inhaling to drop the knee outward and slide down. Exhale to roll inward and pull up. When you've done the last one, stretch both legs down the mat. And roll over onto your belly. We're going to do breaststroke prep number 1. So we'll have in a prone position, have the bent elbows, the forearms parallel to each other. Depending on the length of your arms, your hands are probably going to be a little higher, a little wider than the shoulders. Front of the hips should ideally be nice and relaxed here. You can rock a little side to side if you need to, letting the pubic bones settle forward into the floor. And then stretch those legs out long below you, gathering inner thighs, lengthening behind knees and through toes. You'll feel some lower abs and a little bit of glutes already. Inhale, open the chest. Kegel, exhale, reach through the length of your spine and glide the shoulder blades down to extend upward, lifting the breastbone and each vertebra below it until you're resting on the bottom of the rib cage in front of you. Inhale there and exhale to lower. Prepare at the bottom with a breath in, and then exhale, lengthen from your core as you come up, using the muscles in your middle back to lift the weight of your chest and your shoulders. Hold your Kegel and inhale, use the sides of the bottom of the ribs. And then exhale, lower down, stretching into your length along the ground. One more, please. Prepare and continue. From the top, inhale, and then exhale, rest back down. Good. When you've lowered, Bring your hands under your forehead. And we'll go ahead and do breaststroke prep number 3 as well. So we did the leg sort of version of this. This time the legs stay down. And we're going to try and bring the upper body to a hover using the strength of our middle back muscles. Our legs and our pelvis are both going to remain on the ground and stretched, not only as an anchor, but as a little bit of a counterbalance, right, to the weight here through the neck and the chest. Inhale in position. And then Kegel, exhale, stretch through your crown, engage the bottom of the shoulder blades, and begin lifting the chest, this time only to a hover. So don't come up to the bottom ribs, just hover here. In that hover, as you inhale, relax the sides of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. Exhale and lower. 2 more, please. Prepare. Strengthening, lengthening your legs, access your core and stretch from it as you begin to lift, strengthening the middle back muscles. Breathe into the sides of the bottom ribs and exhale, lower down. Last one, please. And when you've lowered, sit back into shell stretch. Like our first shell stretch, have a couple of breaths just in a stationary position, letting the body accommodate to flexion or adapt to flexion. And then whatever you need to move around, you move around. It could be neck, head, shoulders. It could be you walk your hands to one side of the mat and get a little stretch across the opposite side of the back. Make sure that you do the opposite direction as well. And then please roll up from a centered position, and we'll sit with our knees bent. So you can sit on a cushion or on a pillow or even on a chair, honestly. If it makes your hips comfortable, we're gonna have the knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Oh, it's a challenging day for talking. All right. So instead of half roll back, we are gonna do neck pull front prep, which is the arms up position. And you have the choice of fingertips to the forehead or lightly supporting the area behind the ears. Make sure that you can lift the arms and have the shoulders resting on the bottom of the ribs rather than pulling on the bottom of the neck. And as you inhale here in preparation, feel a pleasant openness through the chest, bottom of the side ribs moving outward. Now Kegel, contract the lower abs and exhale, roll back without gripping the spine between the shoulder blades. Feel spaciousness across the top of the scapulae. Important here, inhale, because now we're going to exhale and bend forward through the upper spine. So releasing tension from behind you is going to make it more comfortable to bend forward. Inhale, stack up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale into the bottom of your side ribs, Kegel, and exhale, bend forward, contracting from the low belly into the low ribs. It's like doing an ab prep from sitting. And then inhale up. 2 more, please. Exhaling to roll back. Inhale and build the habit of releasing the spine on exhale as you bend forward. Do 1 more repetition. Sometimes as we engage core, we get tangled up in destabilizing the spine with holding it steady. And they're different things. When you've rolled up, release your arms down and let your legs go long. So legs are long, and we'll pause to do a little bit of seated twisting here. We're going to do the seated twist that we did the other day from this weird sort of cactus arm position. So we've got cactus arms. We'll inhale and move the fingertips up a little bit without elevating the shoulders. And then kegel and exhale as the breath rises through the crown, lower the elbows, feeling the weight of the arms into the center of your core. Do that just once more. Inhale and exhale. Now prepare for twist with a breath in. And moving from the bottom of the waist, exhale, turn in the direction of your choice. One smooth exhale, one smooth turn. On your inhale, return to your front facing. Keep your eyes forward so they'll scan across the room in an arc as you now exhale and twist in the other direction. Inhale, return to center. Do that twice more across the sides. And I'm not going to pretend like you won't feel work in your arms. Your deltoids should work to keep the arms lifted. You should feel work under the inside of the back of your armpit. But we want to keep it out of the neck. So if that means you need to lower your arms a little bit, that's fine. Maybe even hands together at the chest if you're really struggling. When you've done your last one, shake out the arms. And we're going to roll down and roll up. So you can use a block or not. Some people like a block between the feet. I'm going to skip it today. And we're going to have these weird cactus arms just to begin with, right? We'll be rolling all the way down, so you don't want to sit up on anything here. That's the other detail I left out. And from these odd cactus arms, I want you to keep the chest open. And as you exhale, bring the elbows to the front. Now, as you inhale, engage the triceps. Keep opening the chest and the front of the shoulders as you work the back of the arms and stretch the fingers. And finally, as you exhale, roll back. And you go as far as you can go while still maintaining core. Maybe it's all the way down. Maybe it's not yet, or maybe not yet today. Reach the arms back if you have rested your head down. Inhale, nod. Keep the chest open and exhale, bend forward. Using your abs and your core without gripping your spine. Inhaling up and exhaling, rolling back. Working your triceps. Pressing down through the backs of the legs. Inhale, nod, and exhale, bend forward. Do one more complete repetition. Down and up. And then roll all the way down and remain there on the mat. No need to rush. Again, I'm trying to watch your screens, and so I'll know when you're back down. Good, you guys. Once you've lowered to the mat that last time, roll over to lie on your side. And you might want to put extra blanket under your head or merely prop your head on your elbow. We're going to stretch the legs out long underneath. And try to have a neutral hip extension. So sometimes we lie with the legs flexed forward a little. Right now, we're gonna just have a long line down the front and back of the body, like we're between two panes of glass. Light hand on either the floor. I'm gonna have my hand on the mat. Or if you're really daring, you can have your hand on your hip or just checking out the waist. Exhale here just once, pointing your toes, stretching behind your knees, and engaging upward through the crown. Inhale in preparation. And on the exhale, we're going to lift both legs up, stretching through their length and floating them from the mat. Inhale, hold. You'll feel a lot of work in the bottom inner thigh. And exhale to lower. Repeat that. So it's a very slow movement pattern. We Kegel, exhale. Feel the line of your tail under the line of your head. And as you lift your legs, don't swish your tail upward. Keep it pulling long. Inhale and exhale to lower. Please do 3 more like that. Feeling proprioceptively the line of your spine as you exhale and lift the legs. Let the legs move independently of the pelvis, right? They have that ability. Hold at the top and then exhale to lower. 2 more to do. Firm not only your inner thighs, but the medial quad muscles that support the stretch of the knees. So long behind the knees, active through your thigh muscles, reach and lift, reach and lower. Do that last repetition of the exercise, balancing on the side of your body. And then exhale and lower. Good. We're going to do 1 more here on this side before we change exercise. So keeping those legs stretched, we're now going to stagger the leg lift. We want the same sort of stability with the tail. Pardon me, maybe light touch on the floor with the fingers, maybe again, hand on the low belly. Take your gaze forward, and on your exhale breath, feel the core stabilizing you from top to bottom. On your inhale breath, lift the top leg up. Pardon me. Hold the lift of this top leg, and on your exhale breath, bring the bottom leg up to meet it, not moving your tailbone. As you finish the exhale breath, both legs lower to the mat. So feel where the spine is behind you. Inhale, lift the top leg up. Hold steady, Kegel, and exhale, lift the bottom leg, stretching through the knees, lifting through the inner thigh, and eventually lowering. 3 more of these guys as well, a total of 5. Inhale to lift top leg. Exhale to bring bottom leg up, carrying the weight of your legs with your core. Lower on that same exhale. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bottom leg. Stretching down at the end of that breath. 1 more, please. Nice, you guys. When you've lowered the legs, go ahead and turn over onto your second side. Pause on that second side, catch your breath, and then stretch out long. We'll do that double leg lift on second side. Make sure that you're aligned from top to bottom. You're prepared with a long, slow exhale that engages the core and stretches you. Inhale and exhale, both legs come up. Hold the reach of the legs, breathing in through the sides of your bottom ribs. And from your Kegel, exhale as you stretch downward. A total of 5, please. Feel the continuity of the spine and the steadiness of your position. So instead of the pelvis chasing the motion of the legs, it is stable along with the end of your spine. Last one or two. And then rest for a moment. So we're going to stagger the leg lift, stretching long on the mat, finding where you want to work, prepare with an exhale. And on the inhale, lift your top leg. Bottom leg rises up as you exhale. Keep stretching through both legs as you lower them down to the ground. 5 of these guys, lifting the top leg with your inhale, stabilizing the spine. Use your Kegel. Exhale, bottom leg, and then both lower. Continue through your set of 5. Feel a stretch and a firming through the sides of the waist, both top and bottom. And when you've completed your last one, go ahead and bend your knees. So I'd like to actually, you're going to get tired of flip-flopping back and forth, but I'd like to keep the knees bent and roll over to the first side and do spinal rotation. Yeah, I know, it's going to feel like you're on a boat. Sorry about that. I was undecided whether we would do spinal rotation now or between sides. We're going to do it now. Arms are out in front of you. You can choose to have weights or not. We've got the knees and the shoulders and the hips all stacked up. And on the inhale breath, you'll lift the top arm and turn the head upward. Before continuing your twist, squeeze more firmly between the inner thighs and exhale, open across the shoulders, twist through the ribs and the waist without disturbing the position of the tailbone or the pelvis. Inhale, Kegel, and exhale, return. 2 more of these guys on this side. Inhale, lift the top arm, turning the head. And then exhale, squeeze between the inner thighs to support the stability of the pelvis as you twist open. Inhale in your open position, and then exhale, return. One more from this first side. Returning easily with that exhale breath, relaxing the outer part of the hips. When you've completed your third one, roll over to the new side and get ready to continue directly into the alternate twist. Set it up and engage the core with an exhale before moving at all. When you're ready to inhale, lift the arm and turn the head. Squeezing between the knees, Kegel exhale, open across the shoulders, the ribs into the waist. Tailbone and pelvis steady, inner thighs and knees steady. Exhale, return. Good, and 2 more times, please. That's it. Last repetition. Good, you guys. Hands and knees, please. So we'll do our knee lift, our little knee hover. I'm going to suggest a block between the knees today. We are kind of winding it up, but we will do just a couple more challenging things. So the block between the knees, and of course you do what you need to do for your wrists. I'm going to have a little bit of padding under the heels of my hands. Tuck your toes. Orient the ribs relative to the shoulders and then relative to the pelvis. Rock your weight forward and back and settle into neutral. Have an exhale where you don't lift the knees, you merely kegel and squeeze the inner thighs toward each other. Feel like the outer part of the hips release wide. Now inhale, and the next time you exhale, lift your knees just an inch or two from the mat. Hold this, breathe in, make sure that your neck is still mobile. And then squeeze the block as you exhale and gently lower. 2 more. Prepare with a breath in. Use your feet into the ground to exhale and lift the knees. Connect to your big toes from your inner thighs. Inhale and exhale to lower. Last one, prepare with a breath in and exhale using your feet. Lift, pushing against the ground. Hold, opening the chest and the neck. And exhale, lower without pinching the base of the neck. Remove the block and sit back for a moment. Roll out your wrists. Now the next and last truly challenging thing we're going to do here is push-ups. Push-ups you can do against a wall or against a countertop if you like. You can do against the floor, either on your knees or on your feet, right? So a lot of options here. So I guess pick the space you want to work at. If you're standing up, maybe be just out of reach with your fingertips so you can lean forward. If you're down on the ground, go ahead and start in a hands and knees position. So wherever you are, either standing on the ground upright or in hands and knees, stretch the legs and activate them, consciously stepping into your feet. Now from here, if you're doing push-ups on the ground and would prefer to lower to your knees, keep the hip extension and lower without breaking the line at the hip creases. Wherever you are, have one exhale in preparation, reaching from the soles of your feet into the crown as you release the gripping from the base of the neck. On your inhale, bend your elbows a little. Inhale again, bending a little more. Inhale again, bending more, opening the chest, and then exhale, reach through your length and stretch the arms. Again, 3 inhales, bending a little more, a little more. Exhale, push from your feet through your arms. And we do 3 more of these, guys. A 3-stage bend. You don't go any deeper than you need to go. A full use of legs, a breath, of course, you push. Last 2. You've got it. Beautiful, guys. And last one. When you have pushed away, if you're on the ground, sit back into shell stretch. If you're standing, just kind of pull back away from whatever surface you were using. Definitely move your head and your neck around a little bit here. Rolling a little bit through the shoulders. And then bringing the spine to vertical. We'll all finish standing on our feet. We just take 3 breaths standing upright, and I know we're at the end of our hour. So once you have your feet underneath you, let your arms hang by your sides, comfortable in your shoulders. Keep your eyes open this morning, but soften your focus. So it's like you're trying to look at something, 80 miles out. breathe in and let the inhale move down through the sides of the bottom ribs, down through the base of your hips into the soles of your feet. And then exhale and feel a release through your spine, a strength from the muscles internally. And do that 2 more times. Be gentle with it though. Inhale. And then exhale. Taking in the sights around you, breathe in. And 1 more long exhale, feel the breath spreading up and down, across, side to side, and front to back. And then finally sigh, shake it out. You guys, we're done this morning. Good job. I'm going to turn off our recording.